Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation. This work on HLS Sprint High Performance Logging Framework on FPGA is accepted at ICPE 2021. Myself, Nupur and Manoj have contributed to this research. Data centers are increasingly looked upon to support high performance applications, and for this they often employ accelerators like GPUs and FPGAs. FPGAs are comparatively new entrants into the data centers, as in recent times FPGAs are becoming computationally powerful with more and more logic blocks getting packed into the silicon real estate. In data centers, FPGA accelerator cards are mostly connected in the PCI slot of the host server. FPGAs follow data flow operation and is able to extract parallelism out of the target application. Owing to this parallelism, it results in low latency realization of the target application. Traditionally, developing FPGA designs was challenging as it required hardware-specific skill set. But with the advent of HLS development tools, the developer can write codes in C++ and the HLS compiler creates the HDL equivalent of the source code. HLS development tools have simplified hardware design development to a great extent, and this enticed the enterprise users. However, a practical problem came up. The data center operations staff were very well used to monitoring software applications. Almost all applications in a data center would log critical data. The log data can serve many purposes like auditing, data generation for machine learning, or troubleshooting application execution issues. But this was not possible with FPGA applications developed even in HLS, since the logging library is not supported by HLS and the traditional method of logging require hardware-specific knowledge. The area indicated in red require high manual integration and also includes establishing communication with the host server CPU. Addressing this issue, we built a logging framework which enables logging in application targeted on FPGAs. The FPGA logging framework is expected to extend a software-like print experience to the user and be simple to use. It should be tight and lossless with output in the human readable form. The human interpretability makes much more sense in FPGAs because the processing is happening at the bit level. The logging frameworks are known to introduce latency overheads. This can be detrimental to performance-sensitive applications. The primary challenge in developing this logging framework was to keep a check on the logging latency and maintain it at its minimum. Since FPGAs realize massive parallelism, multiple sections of the application are executing at the same time. In such a case, it is highly likely that multiple print statements are issued at the same time. Such a situation can disturb the sequence of the logs, and the logs might not be in the same semantic order as expected from the source code. The state-of-the-art techniques require familiarity with hardware description languages. Logic analyzers are available as vendor-specific IPs. They require high manual effort to integrate them into the application and offer limited buffer space to capture the logging data. Here is the picture of the output of the logic analyzer, and the output hardware signals are not in a very human interpretable format. Other work advocates the use of source code modification at RTL level, which limits their use to open source compilers, and they offer limited support in production. HLS Sprint, on the other hand, requires no familiarity with HDL. It uses source-to-source transformations, and this makes the framework compatible with open as well as closed source HLS compilers. Additionally, it is fully supported in production. HLS Sprint Framework is an end-to-end hardware-software based automated solution to log FPGA hardware signals. Let us look at the developer's effort to make an application log supported using HLS Sprint. The first step is to add the HLS Sprint pragmas, followed by running the code transformation script, programming the FPGA, and starting the receiver and formatted processes on the host. We will be looking at each one of these in details in the following slides. Here is an application code with traditional printf statements and a log-supported application code with the equivalent HLS Sprint statements. The HLS Sprint format is kept very similar to the traditional printf and has the variable, the data type, and the comment fields. The log-supported application code is given as input to the code transformation script, which generates the synthesizable application code. In the synthesizable application code, we are writing the variables to be logged into stream variables. The variables to be logged, for multiple variables to be logged, we are using multiple stream variables, and this avoids contention in writing multiple logs. Let us look at the RTL diagram of the application code. Here we have three registers, register A, B and C, and some processing is happening on them in the following clock cycles. And in total, the code takes 13 clock cycles. In the RTL diagram of the synthesizable application with HLS print, the application part of the source code remains the same, and in addition to that, some FIFO-like structures are added to it. It is to these queues the log data is written to. As we see that writing to the queue and the operation on A are both scheduled in the same clock cycles because they are identified as independent operations by the HLS compilers. Owing to this, the log supported code also takes a total of 13 clock cycles. From this observation, we can say that the HLS print framework did not introduce any logging overhead on the application. The code transformation script is based on this algorithm and has three main blocks. The first is the HLS print transformations, which we talked about in the last slide. The second is the integration of the HLS print IPs with the low-level IPs. This we'll be talking about in the next slide. And the third is to alert the user of the possible application slowdown. The script checks for reduction in synthesis frequency at various stages and also sees whether the required print bandwidth does not exceed the available PCI bandwidth, causing an overflow because of logging. In these cases, the user is alerted for an application slowdown. Here we have some HLS IPs which are print enabled, and they are generating the print data. This print data is annotated with cycle count, application invocation number and stream ID to distinguish one print data from another. These print records are received into FIFOs. These FIFOs, if they become full, will exert back pressure on the application and may cause it to stall. Because of this, we are right sizing the FIFO based on the arrival rates and the service rate of the data. The multiple print data is going as input to the print multiplexing unit, which arbitrates this data and passes one of them to the PCI endpoint. The PCI endpoint is configured in streaming mode and supports 4 channels in streaming. The HLS print is using one of the channels to route its print traffic. Beyond this is the host to which the print data is now received. We have a receiver process on the host which receives the print data, and the data received is in the binary format. This is the sample of the data received by the receiver process. The formatter process operates upon this data and presents it in a more human-readable format. Additionally, it also sorts multiple datas based on their cycle counter. We tested the HLS print with an industrial application, index compute in this case. We have a message injector system, and the FPGA is used as a processing platform. Inside the FPGA, we have the UDP offload engine and the index compute application. The UDP offload engine sends the trade messages, and the index compute application sends the computed index back to the UDP offload engine. To this, we add the HLS print logging. Here, we are trying to log the incoming trade message, the outgoing computed index, and the intermediate variable, which is the trade number. On introducing HLS print in this application, we observe that the latency and throughput were maintained, as well as the frequency of application remained unchanged. We also tested HLS print on MaxSuite benchmarks and had similar observations. MaxSuite benchmarks is a collection of 19 kernel codes written in HLS. Though from our index compute case study, we see that the throughput and latency were maintained, but it may get adversely affected if the required print bandwidth exceeds the available PCI bandwidth. Additionally, there are some data types that are currently not supported by the HLS print. One of them is the stream data type, and the other one are arrays and elements larger than 55 bytes. In conclusion, we developed a logging framework, HLS print, to support real-time logging of HLS applications targeted on FPGAs. This framework ensures minimum impact on application latency and throughput. HLS Print uses source-to-source transformations and thus is compatible with open and closed source HLS compilers. The framework provides automation at various stages and thus requires less hardware skills on the developer's part. We tested this framework on industrial application and Mac Suite benchmarks, and the results indicate that the latency and throughput impact were at their minimum. With this, I close my presentation. Thank you for listening.